Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name's Jack, and in this video today we're going to be doing an analysis on Solana. Going to be talking about some price targets in the immediate short term, and at the end of the video I'm going to be revealing my next trade. So I'm going to be giving you my entry points, my stop loss, and my take profit targets. So all that and more in this video. So before we dive in, if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Not joking, you guys, it really helps me out. This is a relatively new channel, and any of those engagements you can give me will really help the YouTube algorithm send this content to more people. So with that out of the way, let's dive in. So we've got Solana here on the weekly time frame. So we're going to be going over firstly the USD pair and then the Bitcoin pair. And so let's just start with the basics here. So we've had a monstrous rally throughout the last sort of 2 years, but we are now at critical resistance, which is basically the previous all-time high, which is now confirmed as resistance again about a month ago. Okay, so we've rejected massively from this level, essentially printing a double top, which isn't great actually, I'm not going to lie. We also have a bearish divergence here on the RSI on the weekly time frame, which is now confirmed because we've seen two candles close in the red. So on the overall, the big picture, it's not looking actually fantastic for Solana, but in the immediate short term, I am expecting a bounce, which is why I'm going to be entering a trade on this pair. So we've pulled back right down to our prior range high, which was holding us down for most of this year. We are now at that level and retesting it here on the weekly time frame. Our RSI has reached the midline, which is often a good bounce point, that 50 level. You could see previous times it often does see a bounce around that level, and we are now here now. We are here at that level now. So if I just zoom in here on to the daily, just to show you in a little bit of detail. So we basically capitulated down to this level. Everyone was selling their bags, but ultimately we found huge support here. If I just zoom in so you can see with this huge wick to the downside signifying buying pressure at this weekly level, the previous range high. We've also got the RSI pretty much in oversold territories, which if you look, it just doesn't happen often on the daily time frame in bull markets, and usually when it does, it presents a good buying opportunity. So the RSI is now oversold. Solana is now at critical support, which I believe should hold. On the weekly time frame, we're also at our EMA band here as well. We're exactly at that level. So there's a couple of different confluences here as well. If we pull up, let's take a Fibonacci from the low here too. And the Fibonacci level, the 382, is almost at that EMA level as well. So for me, that is a valid buy zone now as a short-term trade, just because of those confluences. You know, you've got major support, you've got overextended pullback at support, which also has confluence with our EMA band and Fibonacci levels, and the RSI is at that midline. So yeah, for this, I am in the short-term bullish on Solana. I'm not sure if we'll make a new high or not, but in the immediate short term, I am getting bullish on Solana, which is why I'm going to be talking about this trade in a second. But I want to also marry this up with the Bitcoin pair, because the Bitcoin pair actually as well, we've actually got a double confluence here, guys. So we've got the Solana on the divided by Bitcoin has pulled back. It's lost its EMA band, which is actually negative, but it is now at critical support here as well, higher time frame support on the weekly time frame. So you can see this level where we are right now is presented. It's presented both resistance and support, so I expect the price should now react to it. It also has confluence with our trend line here. So anytime you see multiple confluences all around some level, it generally makes me interested. So the fact that we've got the Bitcoin pair at major support, it's overextended away from its EMA band, i.e. it's pulled back too far. You've got the dollar pair at critical support in line with our EMA band as well, and you've got your RSI at the midpoint. So for me now, this is a valid trade, and I have actually started building my position yesterday, and I will continue buying around this zone here. So I'm going to stretch that from basically from 183 down to 170 is my entry zone. I'll be laddering some buys in this zone. My invalidation for this trade is if we see on the weekly time frame, if you put this on your chart, Solana on the weekly time frame and find an EMA band, if we see Solana breaking below this EMA band on the weekly and rejecting it, that is my exit signal, my invalidation signal, to sort of protect my capital from catastrophic loss. So the way that would look here is if we look back in time, when we broke down below the EMA band and rejected it, that was our exit signal. So there you have it. In terms of price targets, then I will be looking at targeting. If we just zoom up here a little bit, so my target is about 230. Just back up to this previous resistance, which had held for quite a while during this year. So this is our take profit zone there, roughly 230. So that ranges from 220 up to 230, giving us a nice 27% gain from today's price without leverage. Now, if you want to use leverage, that's up to you. It has to be in line with your own personal investment strategy. But for me, that's now a valid trade. I'm now in it, and I'm going to be building a position over the next few days while the price is around this level, because basically I'm expecting a bounce back up to our prior support. All right, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you did get some value from it. If you did, please do consider subscribing. Really does help me out, guys. And yeah, I might end up saving you some money sometime if the markets are in an emergency dump. So I'm going to leave the video there. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Bye-bye.